No. Dumb. I love this bike. I can't wait to ride it once it's done. Woo-hoo. A lot of corrosion down there. It all tears apart the same. Okay, we're back. Better than ever. As I mentioned in probably the last Road Glide build video, I was getting a Dyna back in the shop. This is not mine, unfortunately, as much as I wish it was. This is a good friend of mine's 03 Super Glide. This is a very cool bike. If I had a Dyna again, this is how mine would look. Preferably, or ideally, this is what mine would be. 88-inch Thunderheader, and this is probably one of my favorite paint jobs from Harley. As you can see, I trailered this back in the rain, so it's filthy, but this is an 03, like I said, an 03 Super Glide. Carby, it's got a Spooth engine mount, a Bung King crash bar, T-header, it's got a T-Sport fairing on the front, and yeah, like I said, it's got this 100th anniversary paint job with the badges. Very, very cool bike. Leather pros on the back, full fender. I dig this bike a lot, and now I get to get my hands inside of it. What we're doing with this is essentially the same thing I did to my Dyna when I had it. So this is going to be a 95 kit, cam chest, and he's swapping from a CV to a Super E carb, an S&S Super E. So a lot of this stuff is going to come off and not go back on. The only real thing that's going to be going back on is going to be the exhaust, of course, the rocker box, the rocker arms, and the cam cover. That's going to be about it. Got new jugs, new heads. It's going to be new push rods, new lifters, a whole new cam chest, and new pistons. So from my understanding, what he's done or has ordered is going to be the Wiseco 95 10-to-1 pistons and the S&S Easy Start cam chest kit. And then the heads, I think he is getting them machined, port polished, and I want to say pretty similar to what I did, which was the 1.7-inch intake and 1.5-inch exhaust. That's the port or the valve sizes. Other than that, there ain't really nothing to it but to do it here. We're going to start off by getting this gas tank taken off. I'm gonna do my little bleeding trick with the crossover line. This one has the same one my Dyna had. The crossover line down here. I got my little barb fitting down there. We'll start with that. Get the gas tank taken off. The seat taken off first, then the gas tank taken off. Set all that aside. And then we'll get the exhaust taken off. Free up some space. And then we'll get all the fluids drained. Yeah, super stoked about this. I love this bike. I can't wait to ride it once it's done. Funny thing about this bike is this actually was bought by a different friend of mine, and then he sold it to another friend. Anyway, we've swapped bikes a few times in our little close group of people. But this tank actually says 03 Dyna Lowrider. This is not a lowrider. This is a Super Glide. His title is a Super Glide. The VIN is a Super Glide VIN. So at some point, someone replaced this tank. I don't know why. But whatever, it looks cool. But it is in fact a Super Glide. I never even noticed this. The air cleaner even says lowrider. But this is not a lowrider. The title says Super Glide. Whatever, we're getting torn apart either way. It all tears apart the same. Oh, also another little quick thing. I got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and it gives a pretty sweet POV while I'm riding. I'm gonna cut some in here real quick just so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's gonna be great for some moto vlogging per se. So before I actually get started on tearing this thing down, I want to go over a few of the parts I already have here that he had bought. So first up are the new jugs. These are the same jugs, the black with the machined edging, and these are already punched out to 95-inch. And they have pretty good hashings on them. I think they were just punched out and honed and then put away because they have the dowels on them. They have everything. And they're in pretty good shape. Gasket services might need a little bit of a cleanup. Not a big deal. We got the Super E. I am not a huge fan of Super E's. Granted, every Almost every car bike I've ever had has had a Super E on it. I've heard them be referred to as super easy. I have never found that to be the case when it comes to tuning these things. Even to this day, my chopper still has some issues. And when I did this on my Dyna, when I did my 95 build kit and put a Super E on it, I just could not get the thing to be tuned right. Whatever. Hopefully we'll have better luck with this one. And then he got another set of heads. The heads on this bike currently has a stud broken off in the exhaust. So he just got an extra set, from somewhere pretty cheap. And now I did some measurements on here, and this intake valve and this exhaust valve seem bigger than stock. So once I get these heads off, the stock ones, I'm gonna measure them and see just to make sure. And these also have the double wound springs, or sorry, the dual spring on here. So I don't know if these are stock or not. Again, once we get this one taken off, I'll be able to compare, measure, get the calipers out, measure some stuff. These also just need a little bit of a cleanup. I'd take a wire brush to some of this carbon buildup and clean up these gasket surfaces. So that's that. Let's get to draining some fuel. The good thing is I have the Bible for this bike, 99 to 05 service manual for a Dyna, specifically an FXD. So for those of you that have been here since the Dyna days, might remember this little trick. So there's a crossover line that goes underneath the backbone. So I have just a long piece of 1/4 inch gas or fuel line. So I put it in a gas tank. I'm gonna pinch off both sides of that, right where these nipples come out of the gas tank. So crossover line is right there. Nipple comes down. You see the vice grips right there, pinching that one off. So I pinch them both off, usually with vice grips, but I can't find my other set. Cut it, and while it's pinched off, shove the nipple into one side, drains out most of the gas. There's obviously gonna be a little bit in the bottom down here on the other side that's not been drained. I'll pinch that side back off, swing around to the other side, shove it in that side, let go, and it'll all come out. Ideally, it'll get about 98% of the gas out. So since I don't have 2 sets of vice grips, I'm gonna pinch this side off with the vice grips, and then I'm just going to hold the other side with a pair of pliers, cut it with one hand while it's not draining, shove the nipple in, let go, drain out. Go over here. And voila, works like a charm. Let me show you what I got hooked up. So as you can't see, okay, you can kind of see the nipple back in there underneath the throttle lines, or throttle cables. So it's back in here going to the other line. And then once this one's done draining, I'll hook it up to this line and I'll pull the vice grips off and it'll drain the little bit left in here. Thought I was gonna pull the tank off, but I forgot I gotta disconnect all this shit. The petcock and the breather. Ooh. Here we go. Luckily this thing has super nice Barnett cables. I'm pretty sure they're Barnett.